I'll be that more you gon' remember.
He says to Harker Bay.
Front line till the law comes. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Ali. Who was the
Toronto Johnson?
You and bind you back. Sumo Rock on the mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same.
And now, our feature presentation.
He says to Harker Bay.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back? Sumo Rock on the mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe. And look at that women buying European hair. They love for self, but do the men really care? Hell nah, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you working on the first. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rockin' fans. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to let the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, that town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Hello. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can y'all hear me?
On brother Toronto Johnson.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Pardon me for going late. Pardon me for coming late. You know what I mean? Pardon me, family. Y'all got to pardon me. Listen. Sometimes I am important too. Y'all just not the only people that's important. You know what I mean? I know. They said my mic is low. All right, let me turn it up. All right. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Matter of fact, I can tell you if you get me, gonna get you right. I will make sure you get me right. Let me make sure you get me right, because y'all ain't the only people that's important around here. Hold up. Check 1, 2. Hold up. Let me turn this off. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about 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 now? Let me back this up on me a little bit. Let me tell you something. Y'all ain't the only people that's important around here. All right? We're going to be clear. Okay, I'm good. Now, let me turn this back up. Now, back to what I was saying. Hold on. I don't like to hear with headphones on, so I might have to lock and load. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I don't like too much distractions over here. You know what I mean? All right. When I hear the pit bulls barking, I gotta look at the cameras, make sure, because these fools are crazy. You hear what I'm talking about? But anyway, family, y'all not the only important people here. I'm important too. Demetria Dorsey is important too. Y'all just not the only important people. Well, Grand Sheik, he fashionably late. You know he always late. I know y'all be saying that old slick stuff, but that's all right. That's all right. With that being said, welcome to another edition of Morris World TV. Welcome to another edition of Morris World TV. I am your host, Brother Tahaka Bay. Can you still hear me? Can you say something, sis? Let's make sure they can hear you. Because
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. I can hear you well. So if y'all can hear both of us well, press 7. If you can't, take your little Obama phone and go on to T-Mobile or one of them. Let me stop saying that. They ain't paying me no money, but you know, go to Red, Black, and Green Mobile and get yourself a new one. But everybody can hear well. So anyway, we here tonight, family, and I want to just hear the raw story about one who demonstrated on the front line with the new Black Panther Party. I was supposed to have another brother here today. He is a teacher, so he's teaching in summer school today. So I don't know if that called his schedule off, but whatever the case may be, we have our sister here, what we intended to have anyway. And so, as they say in the Islamic faith, you plan, they plan, but Allah is the best of planners. Look at your neighbor and say, God is the best of planners. So we got Sister Demetria. Sister Demetria, where are you from? Introduce yourself.
I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina, stand up.
Do they still say North Cackalack? Or is that?
Yes, they do in some parts.
I gotta make sure. Because sometimes we get out of date. We get outdated. So you from North Carolina? You always lived in North Carolina?
Born and raised, but I've stayed in Birmingham, Alabama, and I stayed in Atlanta for a little bit.
What part of North Carolina you live in?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Charlotte just like a city now. Like we used to always think that North Carolina was country until my bro came out. What's my bro now? Is he from Charlotte? That's my brother.
Yeah, Petey Pablo. There's a lot of people from Charlotte, or rep Charlotte, but they by way of Charlotte.
Oh, they live on the outskirts. Like I used to live outside of Baltimore and be like, I'm from Baltimore. I used to live outside of Annapolis. I'm from Annapolis. I live outside DC. I'm from DC. Nah, you live in
I'm
PG
born
County.
and raised Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised.
If you could paint a picture about Charlotte, so those who, because we got people all around the world that watch Morris World TV now. How do you paint a picture of Charlotte? What do we see when you describe Charlotte?
I'm almost 42. I'll be 42 in July, so it's changed a lot. I still look at it as country for real.
Right.
But we have a lot of people that has moved down here from like up north, and so the city is changing. And we have 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 murders a day here. Like we're turning into little Chicago. And I can remember back in the late 80s, early 90s when the drugs came in, when the Jamaicans brought it here from up north. And it seems like that's what it has come back to. And our city officials are not doing anything. The new Black Panther Party is not doing anything. No one is doing anything. So it's a little different from me growing up.
So you mentioned the new Black Panther Party. Is it a presence in North Carolina with the new Black Panther Party?
The last time Malik was here, when he came to do something here in Charlotte, quote unquote, but he was here to sell his book. I met a young lady here that was supposed to be over it, and there's another gentleman here, but he's pushing some other stuff right now. So right now I don't know. By way of they're saying is no longer a party here, but a few months ago when Malik was here, it was quote unquote a new Black Panther Party.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Um. So what's the consciousness like there? Like, is there a conscious presence?
They still sleep. That's why we going through what we're going through, and we would have had some consciousness here hadn't Israel, Malik, Janae, Aaron Harris stopped what Brother Charles was trying to do for Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, so wouldn't you? You think North Carolina will recover though?
Not under Malik.
No. I don't. Yeah, I think at some point that's just got to be disbanded, and it got to be your own thing. Got to be built at this point.
Oh yeah, because at the end of the day, like I try not to throw out people's names, but I came under Brother Charles and Aaron Harris. That's how I became a part of the new Black Panther Party. You understand me? Because you have your local, you have your regional, and you have your national. I came through the new Black Panther Party because my little cousin got killed in Huntersville, which is another part of.
Let's go back there. How were you introduced to the new Black Panther Party? Okay, take us from your transition, and I'm about to grab me another cup, but take us from your transition from, just as they would say, a regular civilian to entering into the Black Panther Party, and give me 2 minutes.
Okay, my little cousin, he ended up getting killed in the Walmart in Huntersville by the Baby, the rapper. You know, that's a whole nother story. But that's how I got introduced to him, because another gentleman got killed here by a white police officer. And Brother Charles and Aaron Harris, they did a rally, like a community meeting at my family's church. And Charles, his daughter, and Aaron Harris was there. They gave out cards, introduced themselves, let us know that it was a new Black Panther Party here in North Carolina. And I had been talking to my children about it for about a year or so, but I never knew it was a party here. So that's how I got introduced to them. It took me about a month, and then I reached out to Brother Charles, and I got my uniform. And going in, we were prospects. We wasn't even Panthers. Like, he was already who he was. He had a title. Me coming in, I was just a prospect. Had to fill out an application, had to pay dues, all of that. You know, so that's how I got introduced to it.
There we go. So yeah, I had to check on some things, but yeah. So you enter in. Just tell me the last part real quick. So you entered to the new Black Panther. Who was the leader?
Aaron was over Charles, and Charles was like our leader. Like, when the prospects came in, he did all the recruiting and everything like that. So it was Aaron.
So Aaron. So we can give us some perspective. So Aaron was under, who was his head supervisor, or what would it be?
It was Hashim Lazinga at the time.
Right. Okay. And at that time, Malik was nowhere to be found. He wasn't.
When I came into the party, Malik was just coming back. Malik had left the new Black Panther Party, and then they let him back in when I came in. But when I came in, Hashim Lazinga was sick then, you know, and as he got sicker, Malik started showing up more and more. But by the time Malik took over, I had already left, because I got left on the side of the highway by the new Black Panther Party.
Before we get to that, yeah, because you got a lot to share. But before we get to that, so the Baby kills your cousin, unfortunately. How did that affect you, and what was the result of that? What was the resolve of that?
I mean, of course it hurt, you know, right, because he was a young man that didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't have any children. You know, he was a typical teenager, He wasn't one of the ones that had to have a GoFundMe. He buried himself, had his own life insurance and everything. And my cousin still hurt behind that. And I was an advocate, for my cousin getting killed because it was so many rumors. It was a whole lot of rumors until my cousin kept fighting and they put the whole story out. And like I said, Brother Charles and Aaron has been there firsthand and know the whole story, know what went on, and know the stuff that I went through on my lives and just the disrespect behind it. So not only that, but I've lost other people and other family members and other teenagers. So I do advocate not only with the new Black Panther Party, but in Charlotte for like stop the killing and stuff as well. So I've always been an advocate. I started on the political end first and then got with the new Black Panther Party once my little cousin got killed.
That's crazy. I will show my shirt for a minute. And y'all can get a link for some of these shirts too. I'm gonna put the link in the thing. So you joined the Black Panther. What was your motivation of joining the Black Panther Party? Do you think that it was going to help you with resolving whatever discord that happened that resulted in your cousin's death? What was your motivation to join the Black Panthers?
I mean, thinking that it was like the original, I'm not going to even say the original Black Panther Party because we already know that was like on a political standpoint, but like the new Black Panther Party, when they used to go in and take over neighborhoods and correct the gang members. And if you were going to be a gang member, you brought them in and helped them change the community. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was looking for. Like y'all doing rallies and stuff like that. And my little cousin's rally and this gentleman, they got killed. But then y'all don't do nothing in the community. Y'all not showing up at the city officials' houses. Y'all not going to bring these young brothers in. Now, mind you, Charles and Aaron, they was doing that. They were doing that in the beginning until we got separated.
Right.
But that was my motivation. Because like I say, they here. They here for my cousin. They here for my family. Genuinely.
I think Charles and the brother, which I forget you just named, that was on my show. I think they cut from a different cloth though.
Most definitely.
They cut from a different cloth. When would you discover that it's not what it's cracked up to be? The first time, if you can remember, when you first said, "Hold up, what the heck am I into?"
We went on a maneuver. It was probably 2 months in, to be honest. Because I have a spirit of discernment and I know what I know. So 2 months in, we went on another maneuver. We were downtown in Marshall Park and we were with the Nation of Islam. And I'm not going to say this gentleman's name on your show because his ex is in the comments or whatever. And I try to keep it cute. But
exactly. Absolutely.
He started showing out. And I told Brother Charles, I was like, I'm going to let you know what I see right now, but they getting ready to turn against you. I say, because you bringing these people in, you do the most recruiting here in North Carolina. I never knew anything about the new Black Panther Party. I promise you I did. But he was recruiting. You know what I'm saying? And some stuff went on camera. And under Hashim Nzinga, we did not talk to camera people. We did not talk to the police. When we went on maneuvers, we could not put anything out until we got home after the maneuver, like the day after. So it was just the recklessness for me. And then me not ever hearing of Aaron Harris. Like for you to be from up north, me never hearing from Akbar or ever, knowing anything about him, it was just suspicious to me. And then for Charles supposedly be the leader, and then they switch all these positions around and try to make this certain individual over Charles, like in 2.5 seconds, it was just kind of suspicious to me. When we used to have our meetings and stuff, when Aaron and Charles was a certain way, and then Aaron just switched overnight. And I just didn't get the gist of it.
But ultimately, what do you think? What do you think happened? I mean, did you ever get to the bottom of it? Let me ask you that.
No.
What do you
I mean,
think?
I can say I as a woman, I have, because it's things that we went through as chapters that other people didn't go through, like the arguments, social media stuff, being slandered. You know what I'm talking about? People trying to call DSS on people's children. All of this within the party. You know what I'm saying? And so we took a sabbatical. Charles, people sat down. We had to end up going down to Atlanta. I was the Minister of Information at this time. You know what I'm saying? I came in as a prospect, and then I became the Minister of Information. And everything that was going on in the Charlotte chapter, as far as the applications, when they paid their dues, all of that, I had to turn that over to John Harris, which is no longer a part of the new Black Panther Party. He's a part of the Gun Club, because he was the Minister of Justice at that time. So I can never say it was resolved, because AJ was our general. And then from me becoming the Minister of Information, he sent me right over to the Concord chapter and made me a chairwoman. So it divided. And after that, Charles kind of sat down, and then that's when he went over to pants off. I stayed with the new Black Panther Party, and Janae, Ezreal, and Akbar tried to split us up from our local and the national and just make us regional. And Ezreal was trying to be over everything. And that's when it got real messy. And I still continue on. And that's when I got left on the side of the highway in Wake County.
So how in the world in your mind, if you can explain it, how does it get to the point where you join for revolution and you join to correct the errors in our society and fight oppression, to it just sounds like a ball of confusion?
It was. And it was a setup. Like on our maneuvers and stuff, half of the time, me and Charles and the people that pitched in, we pay for our own Airbnbs, we pay for our own gas. It was told to us by Akbar to put on our uniforms and go stand at gas stations and hold buckets to collect money to go on maneuvers. What the heck? I was about to cuss. I'm gonna keep it cute. What are we paying our dues for? Where's the money going? We still to this day don't know where our money was going, because we paid out of pocket for everything. Ammo, bulletproof vests, that's on Charles end. Tents, food. The new Black Panther Party ain't helped us with nothing. Nothing.
Why does it sound like it's like okay, we're wearing these, we're paying you to wear these uniforms, but we are designing our own walk towards revolution? Because it
They
sounds
didn't pay
like
us for nothing.
it doesn't seem like a typical organization where everything work hand in hand for the greater good of everybody. I'm just
No,
saying.
it didn't. And they didn't pay us for nothing. Now, once you get up to nationals, they supposed to start paying you. But half of them people went to the government and got government loans and everything, like the people in DC. Like, so stop lying. When people say they don't have GoFundMe's and all this other kind of stuff, they have them. Because I paid money and helped pay for stuff through people GoFundMe. Charlotte was about the only one that didn't get no government money, didn't have no GoFundMe's and none of that stuff. We paid for our stuff out of pocket, down to our own uniform.
Well, how do you what's the qualifications that bring you to getting a title like chairperson or from a prospect? How does that work?
You got to, okay, so once you come in, you do your
And don't
application.
answer anything that you don't want to answer. I'm just trying
No,
to
I'm
paint a
going to
picture
answer
so
it
people,
truthfully,
like,
because
say for instance, if somebody wanted to join the new Black Panther Party, at least this is the real. You went through it. At least where you were at, this is what happened.
Okay, through the way we went through it, they were supposed to do like mental health background checks and all that other kind of stuff, because people was carrying guns. We went on maneuvers with weapons and stuff like that. Make sure, like, we did check the applications and all of that stuff. Some people checked out, some people didn't. And you just basically had to want to do right by your people and not be messy, but some people just got lost around the way, you know. And a
So
lot of these applications don't get checked. And they just like, okay, we just gonna push the people through for the numbers.
got you. So once you went to Concord, what was that like?
It was like nothing. It was nothing. I
What you
basically had maybe 3 comrades. As the chairwoman, I love being a minister of information because that's what I do. I get the information. I never wanted to be a chairwoman. I never even wanted the title, to be honest. But I do what I do, and I love my people.
Right.
And when I became a chairwoman, I got my Pan-African patch and stuff like that from housing people when we went on maneuvers and helping people, you know, get back to their destinations and stuff like that with my own money. Like I say, this world don't belong to me. So whatever I can do, I'm gonna do. And when I'm in the moment, I'm in the moment. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So I'm gonna always be for my people. But
so Cryptonomist in there, he says, who gave you the title? Like, how did that work? Was it a ceremony? How did that work? Who?
we did have a ceremony.
Okay.
Brother Charles them threw the ceremony for us. Yeah, when we got our titles. And then I got my Oakleys when I became a chairwoman. But I only became the chairwoman because of the BS that was going on in the Charlotte chapter. And AJ divided us.
So AJ, the one that's the head of PanSoc, divided
Yeah.
y'all. How is that? What do you mean he divided?
Because
y'all?
he was our general, and it was so much mess going on in the Charlotte chapter. That's the person that we reached out to. Excuse me. We reached out to and made sure everything was, you know, going right safety wise and all this other kind of stuff. And people started stepping down, and then they made other chapters within the Charlotte chapter and said it was only one new Black Panther Party and couldn't nobody join this. And some people just had their family members in chapters. It was just messy. It was a hot mess. So
did anybody ever call for a national meeting in order to sit down and try to sort this out?
Over the phone, and we just got cussed out. That's basically what Hashima Dinga did, and that was the outcome of it. Me becoming the chairwoman of Concord, which is predominantly white people.
You can start the White Panther Party like
Man, goodbye.
boy bye. So so if you at Concord and you guys got 2 or 3 comrades, how did you ultimately get to the point where you left on side of the road? What happened with that?
Okay.
Like, take us from the beginning. Take us from the beginning. Like, who were you with? How this work? I'm gonna take a sip of this kombucha. I want to hear this. How do you leave a woman?
Okay, so first of all,
on side of the road? How does this work?
With my 2 comrades that I had, we went on a maneuver down in Atlanta. And stuff popped off, you know, there. And a young lady was picked up, and she got mad at me because you don't leave your comrades. If you come with your comrades, you leave with your comrades. There ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. You don't travel in your uniform. Like, we know the structure of it, and she didn't do right. So I was down to 1 comrade. I was in hair school during this time, but I was still trying to put boots on the ground and everything. And Ezreal called me, Ezreal LaBoo. I'm just gonna call him that. But he was our regional, and he called and told me that a young man had got shot in Wake County and by the police officer. So me, Lakeisha, Preston, and Aaron Harris all went up to Wake County. But we went to Danville, Virginia first, which I couldn't understand. They took us to Danville, Virginia first. We left Danville, Virginia, and then drove a whole nother 3 hours with Confederate flags on the highway and everything just to go back to Wake County. Wake County is in North Carolina, where I'm from, when we could have just went straight to Wake County. So we get to one destination, did the maneuver there. We left, got pulled over in the church. Ezra jumped out the car saying that he had all his information and he can travel the land and all this. I say, well, I don't have any of that information. All I have is my ID. I'm not driving. I don't have to show you anything because I don't have a warrant. I got out the car, got my stuff out the back of the trunk, and I went inside the church. After the second maneuver, we're sitting there, they're recruiting, because at the end of the day, I'm ready to come back home to my children. We're getting ready to get on the highway. After we get gas, we getting ready to get on the highway. Israel goes to the right. Lakeisha is in the left lane, and I see the police getting behind Israel. I tell them they're getting ready to stop Israel. Lakeisha said, no, they're not. I said, I promise you they are. So instead of her pulling in front of Israel, she pulls behind Israel in a police car. Now, mind you, Israel is with the one with the artillery. At this time, I wasn't even carrying anything. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't licensed to carry or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I had a buck knife on me, a bulletproof vest, and that was basically it. So the same cops that had pulled us over a couple of hours prior to us going back home are the same ones that pulled us over that time. So when Lakeisha got behind Israel, one of the police officers and one of the people that was at the maneuver that we had just left from went up to Israel's car. They talked to him. Israel went on down the highway. I'm recording by this time. So the lady that asked me for my ID prior to asked me for it again. I say, well, you can get my ID now because it's evident that you're getting ready to detain us. You know what I'm saying? I say, but I feel like it's harassment because I haven't done anything to you. We haven't done anything illegal, but this is the second time that you stopped us tonight. Left it at that. They get all of us out the car, detain us, charge us with different charges, give us different court dates and all this. Then Corona hits. I'm telling Israel, Hashim Lazinga, everybody, like, I got this court date going on. What y'all gonna do about a lawyer? Because I was on a maneuver with the new Black Panther Party. They tell me to call Bobby Worthy and Malik. Malik is an accident lawyer and Bobby Worthy is an advocate. They can't do nothing for me. And
Hold up, sis. I rock with you, but you can't talk about my Uncle Bobby. Now I just laughed at that.
Baby. I don't have nothing to give him. I don't have nothing to give him. I just don't do it.
Don't turn out. That was a joke. Don't turn out. Uncle Bobby, you gonna make somebody turn out. Look, you see, even Kryptonite and Bobby Worthy.
Because he done got on this show and talking about he with the new Black Panther Party and he still rocked their uniform, bro. Come on now.
Bobby, I heard Bobby stepped off though.
Just like Babu stepped off, but he still had on the uniform in Mississippi. Anywho, but we ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna finish with my story because I ain't talking about them tonight. I'm gonna finish with my story.
All right.
So
Bobby, I know you listening.
I don't care. And so Israel goes on down the road. Corona hits. They send me one court date and then tell me that the court date was canceled. Send me another court date. I never get the court date, but I'm telling them, like, I got to go to court. Lakeisha ends up calling me and telling me they had just left a certain individual's workplace and they had a warrant, and she looked up my information and I had a warrant for my arrest.
Hold that thought right there. What did they charge you with? Did they take you off the road that night?
No, they detained us, like they handcuffed us on the road. Okay. And we was on the road for like an hour and then they let us go.
Okay, I got you. And then they put a warrant on you.
Yeah, because the court date that they gave me originally, they canceled it during COVID. Sent me another court date. I never got the court date. You know what I'm saying? Because I go to court. I will go. It makes me not a bit of difference. But then, like I said, one of the old comrades told me, listen, Demetria, they just left such and such job. And I hope you don't mind me looking up your information, but you have a warrant for your arrest. I called downtown to see if I can turn myself downtown here in Charlotte, but they was like, it really didn't make no difference. I might as well go back up to Wake County and turn myself in. called the Bills bondsman and everything. And I'm calling Israel and all these people and telling them what's going on. Call my sister down in Atlanta, let her know what was going on so she can tell Aaron Harris if I couldn't get in touch with him. I end up spending 24 hours in jail. I'm like, okay, new Black Panther Party not doing nothing. It's cool. I work. This is what I'm gonna have to do. I knew it was a possibility that something like this could happen to me being a revolutionary. So I'm just gonna have to charge it to the game. Got me a lawyer, went to court for a whole year. And this is before I was driving and everything. And I'm paying $200-300 a walk going back and forth in my personal Uber just to get to Wake County. And new Black Panther Party still ain't done shit, ain't ain't done nothing, ain't said nothing.
Did you let them know that what your dilemma was?
Yes. Ezra knew.
You said that was hard, yes, too. Yes. So what does
Ezra
that
knew.
What did they charge you with?
A concealed weapon.
But I heard you just say that you wasn't even carrying.
I had a buck knife. My knife was like this long. I had a long knife, but I didn't have no guns.
Okay, so they charge you with concealing a buck knife?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But they let you go and then they came back and get you. So when you was on the side of the road, so when you was on the side of the road, were you on the side of the road, literally on the side? Because you down south. This ain't Baltimore on side the road.
On the highway. Like, you know how is the highway and then there's that little stretch, that little piece of land right there is on the side of the highway.
How you get home?
When they let us go, Lakeisha was able to drive us back home, back to North Carolina.
Oh,
it's just the fact that our leader that was over us went on down the highway and went back to Danville, Virginia with his wife and children. And we was on the highway for an hour.
Can we have that leader name one more time?
You want his real? Let me stop.
No. See, I like this. See, you a good interview. You want to okay.
Azrael LaBoo. He left the new, but see, he left the new Black Panther Party after the tribunal in September because he thought he was going to take Akbar's seat, and he done started something else with the 66 Legion or something like that. You say government names only.
Nah, don't do that, sis.
I inbox you.
So they had a tribunal?
It was a tribunal in Wilson, North Carolina, September the 26th of last year. That's what a free Stephen Biko shirt come from.
Hold up. Now take us. Let me see that shirt.
Don't play with me, Janae.
Biko, my brother. I think I owe Biko a public apology.
You should him owe you one.
I just be messing around. Anyway. But so y'all, so hold up. Let's talk about that shirt. Y'all was wearing y'all was wearing the free Biko shirts at the jail.
Yeah, okay. The tribunal, like I say, the tribunal was September the 26th of last year. Ezra was there, Janae was there, Akbar was there. You know, Brother Charles did participate over Zoom. Aaron Harris participated over the phone. AJ participated over the phone. The following day, Biko was supposed to have a court date, but it was actually the following month. And it was 5 of us marching at the courthouse with these shirts on and bullhorns, talking about free Biko, and we had the wrong court date, so we was just loud and wrong.
So y'all standing out there free Biko, and Biko ain't even, it ain't ready to be free yet.
No, at all.
That remind me of that thing they say, oh, poor Tink Tink.
Right. Didn't have the real name, didn't do nothing. So we drive over to the lawyer office.
Stephen Biko. What you mean you ain't got the real name?
Well, that ain't what she married on them papers. That ain't the name she said. She didn't know that man's name. Because we had to go to 2 different rooms to get the name and stuff for this man. And then we went over to the lawyer's office and they didn't answer the phone for her. They answered the phone for me because it was a North Carolina number.
Nah, you can't talk about my sis Janny.
Yes, I can. She should have called me out in your show the other night because I was rooting for her.
She knew Biko name.
Well, when she got married, she didn't know that man's name. When she started dealing with him,
Hey, why your southern drawl kicking with she
because
didn't know
man,
that man, man.
no, because man, listen, because you know she done been on here too many times with the lies. Like she's delusional, and you ain't started no formation and no security, nothing, ma'am. You did not even on our maneuvers. You didn't even get out the car. You babysitted people's children, baby. Stop playing with me. Like, stop. I'm so sick of people.
Hold up. MJ Givens in the building. No, hold up. Before we talk about this tribunal, Sister Janae, she be feeding the people in DC. And
okay. We all feed people. If you can't get nothing else, you can get food and clothes. What about resources?
But
how about
hold
up.
Sister Janae, I think I'm just saying she has told here us on Morse World TV some of the maneuvers and how she tried to stir people in the right direction, and she even mentioned how Biko wouldn't listen to her. And I see her as a boss lady.
Of course he would listen if that's why would he listen if it man Demetria, man, you about to bring it out of me. Of course, why would he listen? Why he's in jail because of her? Like, come on, you knew who gun it was. She knew what was going on. Like I say, I have the notes right here from the tribunal. Like, come on, Janae. Come on, man. Like, come on. People be lying. It may be your sister, and I called her my sister at one point in time. I did, and I was rooting for her. Even when she came on your show, that's why I was in the comments with the Janae, just tell the truth. Why are you lying?
This look bad. All right, let's go to the tribunal. Good, I'm nervous, man. This one make me, since Demetria make me nervous, man. She find me a Bernie Mac. They ain't gonna give me no show because I might say something. So
I be trying not to. I really didn't want to have to do this.
In all honesty, I think this is one of the necessary goods that we always have to do. Because if you join the new Black Panther Party, springboarding from a death of a family member, and this is what you get, you're supposed to shout it at the rooftop that if you think that this is a reasonable path for liberation, first, you need to hear my story. You feel what I'm saying? Because many people, our people are starving for liberation. Our people are looking for that path. And people think that this is an option.
Right.
But so somebody has to be able to say that this is not an option. And here's why. Regardless of the Black Power, regardless of the pig this, the pig that, this is not an option, and here's why. Now, let's get to the tribunal. How does a tribunal actually work?
Well, first of all, let me go ahead and put this out here because I just got a comment saying that I got somebody's whole book from the tribunal. This is my book. I the one that took the notes. King Shakur Amir of Black Guerrilla Army. These are my notes. I took them for you, sweetie. So we're gonna leave that alone too. But how a tribunal originally works, it was originally broke down for gang members to come together and resolve stuff in their neighborhood or whatever and whatnot. And so they get the OGs, the triple OGs, and all these other kind of people together, and you come to a united front and resolve. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to like you, I don't have to deal with you, but we gonna come together and do what's best for the people. So, like I said, when I got left on the side of the highway, King Shakur, what's his name? King JX had reached out to me. And my sister Neon was saying, be careful, this, that, and the third. I ain't gonna tell his story because he want to come on here and tell it himself. So I'm gonna let him do that too. So Janae had started reaching out to me, and we had started talking about some stuff. And I told her, well, you know, I'm involved in some different stuff right now. I'm waiting on one more gentleman to reach out to me. Now, I was talking about King Amir Shakur. of the Black Guerrilla Army. You get what I'm saying? Because I knew him 5 years ago and the stuff that he was doing, you know, prior to all of this. So we connected or whatever, and he started feeling the way he felt about the new Black Panther Party. I told him I was a part of and the stuff that I knew. But mind you, Brother Charles and I had already started doing this years prior to this and was speaking out inside of our chapters. You get what I'm saying? It was only when I got detained is what made me more vocal. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, once I linked up with him, we connected, started talking to people, doing different stuff. And Janae didn't know that I was working with the Black Guerrilla Army. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I'm by myself, solo dolo. I have helped the People Party. I have helped the Freedom Fighters. I have helped different organizations because that's what I do and I love my people. You know what I'm saying? So when we connected or whatever and whatnot, he formed the Tribunal. And like I said, that's when Janae and everybody popped up. But we had a phone tribunal prior to this with King JX and all of his allegations. Now, he didn't come to the tribunal, but like I said, it was Janae, Akbar. It was basically the DC chapter. And that man, Chris, that I don't trust.
Mm. And so how did the tribunal how does it work? I'm trying to understand, and for those that we don't know, because you know, literally this dropped in my lap. I would never be talking about Black Panthers or anything that has to do with this this part of our community if
Right.
I seen a suspicious behavior with Grandmaster Jay calling everybody out, and from that everybody reached out to me. And I always want to underscore that. Don't nobody act like that I'm coming for nobody, because
Right.
because you know what I mean, everybody that I've ultimately had to come for, they came to me. Even Malik Zulu Shabazz, he came to me. I didn't come
Right.
to him. He came to me for an interview. And ultimately, I gave him one of the best interviews on social media. And matter of fact, it's one of the highest interviews in numbers on Morse World TV. But when he seen me coming at Grandmaster Jay and he called me an agent, it made me to look into his background to see if he showed signs of an agent, because again, he had one of the most a high number interview on my channel right before he put out his book. And then when I say something about Grandmaster Jay, he called me an agent, and I thought that was suspect. And
Right.
so when I've been to look into his background, I'm like, man, this brother got a scrubbed background. It's scrubbed. There's nothing there. And so I'm going to keep saying it. I'm taking an intermission to let y'all know that I don't come for people. They come for me, and I answer the call. So don't
Right.
keep asking me why I keep talking about this, why I keep talking about that. They come for me, and I just answer. See, back in the day, and I think Sister will be able to take this from here. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, just a few years ago, when they would come for somebody like Sister Demetria or other stories I done heard with members of the new Black Panther Party, they had such an overwhelming influence that Sister like Demetria wouldn't get heard. You know what I'm saying? The same thing happened with Ali Muhammad. He had such dominant influence that all the people that he had abused and mistreated, disgustingly took advantage of, their voice was never heard until they came to Moorish World TV. Fortunately, with Demetria, she got a serious Facebook channel. I say channel because she go live, and she actually giving that fire just like she doing here tonight. So I don't know if we can get a link and y'all can go and check her out, but she don't play about that. But most people don't have a voice. They don't have a voice because they smother them out. So sis, do you feel as though that you ever been kind of canceled, smothered out
Yeah.
from not being, because one thing for sure, if you leave me in jail, it's a wrap. Two things I always say in a relationship, and people say, "Oh, you beat a woman in this, all that." One thing about me, I've been accused of domestic stuff and all that stuff, but I tell you what, I've been found out guilty of most of it. But if you send me to jail, relationship over.
Right.
It's done. And I'm telling you, I cut ties in relationships in the past, even in my hood state of mind. Once them bracelets come on my hand for a lie or otherwise, I don't care. I'm changing my life. You know what I'm saying? And the moment that they didn't come through when I was locked up, in your case, was that it for you?
Yeah, that was it. And it was like, okay, now I know what I need to do. Because I knew then with him having everything on him and us having nothing, and for him having pending charges now under his real name that everybody has brushed under the rug, yes, that was the end for me. And it was, I'm on a mission and I'm not gonna stop because he needs to be set down. Malik needs to be set down. Because the truth be told, and everybody get mad at me because I started with Brother Charles. I started with him and I'm gonna end with him. They set that man down because he had the numbers. He didn't go looking for them. They came looking for him in every formation that he was in. He became national. And he was calling them on their BS. Just like they shut down a Tennessee chapter. I'm talking about all them dudes at one point in time were gang members. Stopped being gang members and joined the new Black Panther Party and shut them down.
Well, so do you think it's possible? Because I do. Do you think it's possible that Brother Charles can take it to the other level, that level of integrity, that level of really addressing the community and and bring real people? I mean, because at the end of the day, Malik Zulu Shabazz is nothing but a hype man and a spokesperson. That's it. He's a hype man and a face. That's it. That's it. He have a little track record being the little sidekick of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. But in fact, he in his own manipulative way, he came or rose to some sort of notoriety by bringing Dr. Khalid Muhammad, you know what I'm saying, and Minister Louis Farrakhan to Howard University. That's it.
Right.
And he's been riding that wave forever. See, it's to the point now where we got to turn the pool. It's not even a real wave. It's one of them fake generated pool waves. And all we got to do is pull the switch. You know what I'm saying? And we pull the switch by allowing our brothers platforms and sisters like you this platform right here so y'all can bring people in together and know that there's an option right here for true liberation. You know what I'm saying? Right. And y'all need to do that because that's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? That's not my lane. You know, but Brother Charles, if you say it to me, and I've heard it from quite a few people, that Brother Charles have the integrity, Brother Charles have the know-how, Brother Charles A, B, C, and D, then sis, are you willing to work with Brother Charles?
Of course. I work with him now.
There we go. That's what I need to hear. That's what
I told you. I started with him and I'm gonna finish with him till I take my last breath. And that's for real.
That's what I'm talking about. Now let's get back to the tribunal. What actually happened at the tribunal?
A whole bunch of talking and no result. Okay, so like I said, we listen to Brother Charles' story. We listen to Janae's them story of everything that happened in Little Washington.
Let me stop for 1 second. Hold that thought. I want you to go with it. I like what Bruce Jones production said. He said, man, this seems to be the norm. Now that's crazy. And that's one thing that I'm hearing too. I mean, that this seems to be business as usual. But I want to hear this right here. What you say, sis?
So we listened to Brother Charles' story or whatever, and it was basically dismissed because it was no proof. Like, did nobody have any receipts? Then we called AJ and we called Brother Harris, and it was basically just a phone conversation type thing. But in the midst of all of that, Akbar was supposed to sit down from the position that he had, and Ezra was supposed to take over. Just like we told them at the tribunal, like, that's not what we're here for. If y'all want to vote him out once y'all get back to DC, that's something that y'all have to do as a chapter and in y'all region. We have no control over that. You know what I'm saying? But then they turned around and gave Akbar position to some female named Lexi Lex or something like that. But I can't understand how when nobody is getting voted in, just like Malik is not voted in, and he's supposedly sharing a chair with somebody else.
He's sharing the chair now?
From my understanding, yeah. I forget the dude's name, and I don't want to, like I say, I try not to throw out people's names, but yeah, that man is sharing a chair. I can't, and I don't try to speak on deaf people's names either, but I can't understand how you can just go on and say that Hashim Nzinga gave you this position on his deathbed. His wife haven't said nothing. Nobody.
But
that was
I don't think now I'm not a member. I've never been a member, but in any organization, there's a process to get into leadership. If that process is not met, then it's fraudulent. And I've looked at the Morris Science of America in the same way, of all these people claiming to be Grand Sheiks, and like it's a guy Taj Tariq Bey claimed to be Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey. How you get that? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why hasn't anybody ever come together to address the fact that this guy is not legitimately in that seat?
Because you got a whole bunch of flunkies under them now. Just like you had one person, like I said, that was at the tribunal. He was a year in and was made a general. Then the girl that was under him, Crystal Umambu, she just got a year in, and now she's some national something and got all these other organizations inside the new Black Panther Party. He got a whole bunch of flunkies, people that want to be a part of something.
What was the tribunal addressing? What was it actually addressing?
All the allegations that was going on about these people. All the allegations that was going on about the people. And Malik didn't show up, but we talked to Malik over the phone several times, and he didn't show up. Like I say, the DC chapter showed up, and it's supposed to be another one, September the 23rd of this year.
So what is the resolve of these tribunals though? Like what? I mean, okay, so for instance, if you go to court, you get found guilty or you found innocent, blah, blah, blah. How does this work? That's what I'm trying to understand.
That's what I'm trying to understand too, being that I'm trying to help. No, because I'm not trying to be funny, because people think I'm trying to be funny at this point, but I'm tired, bro. Like I'm tired.
Not because we always
have nothing else to give. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because like I always say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's personal, y'all need to square up somewhere out in the street. If it's affecting the movement, then that's when it need to be a tribunal. Because from my point of view, it looked like it's a whole bunch of personal BS.
So what was if you can give us an example of one of the talking point items of the tribunal? What,
like AJ and his affairs.
Oh, when AJ was cheating on his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he did admit to cheating on his wife. He just didn't say he cheated 3 times.
Yeah, he threw himself on the mercy of the Panthers court.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like
3 times. No, he said no. That's not what he said on. He said he admitted to it as if it was 1 time.
Yeah, I know he didn't admit it on TV. I know that. Of course, he's not going to admit it on.
No, he only said he said, and then I admitted that. I said I admitted that, and I did it 1 time, and then admitted that, and I straightened myself out because my wife, and I did it. He talked.
Yeah, he cheated, but it was 3 times.
3 times.
It wasn't just 1. But
where that sister at?
Where them sisters at? We gonna go through the whole show with this?
Hold up. No, hold up. I'm thinking it's the same sister. 3 different.
You talking about, because he has the wife, then he has the mistress that's in Atlanta, and then the one that's out in Cali.
No. Stop, sis.
We're gonna.
Sis. No, whoa. What I'm saying is, he said on my show. This is why
I know what he did on your show.
On my show, he said that everybody wanted to talk about that I cheated on my wife, and me and my wife was going through something, and that happened. Now, I apologize to my wife, and da 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 da. But you telling me, so when you saying 3 times, I'm thinking it's 3 times with the same person. I just didn't get that part. But you
No.
telling me, what you telling me?
I'm telling you what I'm telling you. And if y'all go on his page and look and stuff at because they put everything out on Facebook, you will see them slapping butts and all that kind of mess. Come on, man. Like, that's what I mean. Because I ain't gonna down talk like the after parties of the maneuvers and stuff like
No,
that.
we're gonna talk about that
I
too.
used
But
to be a part of them, but
you telling me AJ, he got pros in different area codes. I got pros in
yes,
different area codes. I hope
but a lot of them do.
Huh?
A lot of them do, and they change women quarterly. A lot of them do.
Then this is one of the reasons why Europeans don't see this type of coming together as a threat, because there is no discipline or professionalism when it's time to get some work done. Right. So I wonder. So you said the sister in California.
Just look on the page.
Sister in California, if you're out here, I'm here for you to get messy. I would love for you to come on here and get messy. I'm telling you.
Ain't nobody going against AJ for some reason. I don't know why they think that man a saint.
Now, he's not a saint.
I know that.
He's them people.
Especially when you got people jumping out of airplanes with no equipment and their daughter is left behind and they don't have no way to get in contact with their daughter. Yeah, you messy.
Well, we're going to have one day, we're going to find some of these people, and this is going to be Morse World TV Messy 2.0. These people crazy. So I'm looking at the items. So one of the items that they dressed at the tribunal was AJ cheating on his wife. What was they supposed to do about that?
That's what I kept saying. Like, even though it's not a good look because he's a leader, but that's still his personal life. You get what I'm saying? If them people still want to follow him, it's nothing that I can do about it.
Well, I think the issue would be is these women in the organization, and is he using the organizations for his personal smorgasbord? Now that would be a problem.
2 of them is in pants off.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is if you like, so I don't condone it, but I'm just saying if his personal life is, they not have no affiliation with that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, but it's not his personal life when these are registered or however you go to be a member.
When they're your comrades.
Yeah, when they're your comrades.
And it's in the public eye.
You use it as your personal smorgasbord.
Right. And it's in the public eye.
Yeah, exactly.
So this tribunal that is supposed to be coming up, I guess Malik is supposed to be there, and it's supposed to be some stuff addressed by General Ghazi, because I'm supposed to still be showing up because I need to say some stuff to General Ghazi too. I talked to him back in February because he was real disrespectful, just like I talked to Malik Monday over the phone over the stuff that happened in Mississippi on his watch and under his coalition.
Oh, we're gonna get into that too. So that was one of the items. Any other items that you might want see this is what happened though, sis. I will tell you this. Going to them tribunals only going to legitimize that is real. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even, if you wanted to, it'll be an ego thing at this point, because I'm like you said, what is it going to accomplish? These are not honorable people. It's not like they're going to honor anything to bring forth the greater good, because these are just not honorable people. You know what I mean? Malik is not an honorable person. I mean, like, what's good going to come out of that? There's going to be some discussion. There's going to be some fake sanctions, and they're going to keep going like it do.
Like they did a year ago.
Absolutely. And so, I don't know. I know I wouldn't waste my time with that, because for one thing, it's illegitimate. His leadership is illegitimate. That's number one. Number two, the process of the tribunal is ineffective and illegitimate. according to what you're sharing with us. And number three, when you show up to something like that, you give it some form of legitimacy.
Right. But that's my whole point of saying what I said earlier about these notes and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm drained, and I can only give what I can give. Because, like I said, if it's not sitting nobody down, because like I said, after we get off this call tonight, like, it's boots on the ground for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done all the talking that I can do. Malik them know why I show up. And they maneuvers and all this other kind of stuff. I'm just trying to figure out what do they plan on doing, and when do he plan on sitting down at this point?
What compelled you to come to the most dangerous podcast on YouTube?
Because I'm dangerous. Because I'm dangerous too. But no, because I've been watching you for like a year, and I kept saying, okay, like, he making sense. And like I said, Brother Charles in the Charlotte chapter had been talking about this stuff for years and trying to piece stuff together and looking at old videos and like, where did these people come from? And when we were like paying for our own stuff, and like I say, having the whole bucket. Well, I didn't hold no bucket at no gas station, but being told to do different stuff like that, it was like, you know what, it's time to do something different. And then the other night when Janae was on, the live, and she said what she said about North Carolina pushing drugs through the movement. First of all, we haven't had boots on the ground in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Brother Charles got a whole live trucking company and employing people. I just got my CNA license and get ready to go to nursing school. Like, we haven't had boots on the ground. So for her to even break up North Carolina, it did something to me. Like, what you trying to hide? Because you said what you said about them guns and selling guns and all this other kind of stuff, but then you talking about people getting RICO charges. No, baby, you will get one before I do. I wipe tails every day. Like,
this is all allegedly. This show is allegedly.
Allegedly what she said at the tribunal, bro. I'm just honest. Allegedly for the show then.
Not just that. I do that because Malik, he like to threaten to sue people, but I've never told no lie. But just in case that something has been misunderstood, I just like to say allegedly. But I tell you what I do know is that this is consistent with what we have already heard. This is very consistent. So that was one. What was it? Brother AJ. Did that ever get resolved?
AJ still spreading rumors.
What you mean?
AJ still spreading rumors, talking about people going to city, raping people and everything. Like, he's still
and
on
he's
some
saving them.
stuff.
He's saving them. But that's one of the things maybe you can help me out with. Why do I'm watching right now? Malik, they grab stories from the headlines, connect themselves to the story, and act like that they are intricate part of bringing the resolve to the situation. I'm watching Malik do that with something that just opened up about Emmett Till. I watched the Sisters of the Underground do that about just random stories. And when you go back and really check, you're like, man, that ain't so.
Like them girls up in New York.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk about that story too. I got that one coming. I'm working on my presentation for that. And then you got AJ and them telling the story about all of these rescues. And then they finally they finally hit some pay dirt because a sister walks home and they meet the people at the community and go into the middle of the street and take a picture with a sister, and they act like they rescued her. And that sister walked all the way home, feet by feet, step by step. And
right.
Like, what possesses brothers or sisters, for that matter, in these organizations to embellish to the point where it's easy to discover that it's a flat out lie?
It's mental.
I mean, like, what I'm trying to say to you? What's the mentality that you encountered that will compel people to do this?
They're mental, and the new Black Panther Party didn't do the mental health checks on people. Like, these people are really mental. Like, you either have a lot of military people that was like ex-correctional officers or people that they done just grabbed off the street that don't have anybody, and like I say, want to be a part of something.
Like when you look at the guy Najee, clearly they say that, I mean, now if people don't have to take the European assessment, but according to a national respected assessment of mental health, they say this guy is retarded. And he's the national field marshal.
Did you hear what you just said? He's retarded and he's the national field marshal. And if anything ever happens to him,
according to the Institution of Health Standards in the United States,
I understand it.
And so if that is illegitimate, then Malik bar license to practice law is illegitimate, because these are just another agency that gives you the qualifications and certifications of what something is. Right. But it says that according to their report, that 75 or less is mildly retarded.
And then they put them out there and give them guns.
Nick Bezel says to him, "Okay, Commander, I'm going in." What? You watched it? Like, what?
Right.
What?
And it's because if anything ever happened, it ain't like nobody gonna care, because they consider him mentally ill.
Man, they got the guy that'll fart in the tub and bite the bubble watching it go. He the type that'll fart in the tub and turn around and bite the bubble. And they got him on guard. Good goodness gracious. A slobber drooler.
Man, listen. It's nasty.
This is crazy, though. This is crazy. I mean, making spit bubbles. But I'm saying is, and you went on maneuvers, right? But you went with Brother Charles, them, hopefully, right?
Mm-hmm. Most of my maneuvers were with Brother Charles them himself once he left, and then I was under AJ.
Okay. So you went on a maneuver with AJ?
Not AJ, Azrael.
You ain't do like my brother.
I had to go on maneuvers with AJ because AJ
like my
was
brother Charles said. Brother Charles said, I was scared as heck, but I had to jump for my people. I said, I respect it. Charles was the realest.
Get on my nerves.
He said, but I had to do it for my people.
Right.
Shout out to Brother Charles.
He done jumped out them planes with them people said got on that broke boat.
But look, so when you went on with Azrael, is he still a commander?
Of the, what is it, the 66th Legion or something that he done made up there and be flying that flag by himself up there in Danville, Virginia.
Oh, that's the newest one that they've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They make these things up every week.
All you gotta do is get your flag off of Amazon.
Look, you know what's funny though? This is the funny part about it. Somebody said repeat that. What? No, for real. I'm not playing. Hold up. They think I'm playing. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something real quick. I just want to show you something real quick. One of the things that I wanted to say is that, if I can find it real quick. I was watching Malik on another brother's show, Rico.
Mm-hmm. I watched it.
And he said emphatically, basically, go and do what you got to do, and I support you. Why would someone want someone to continue to blur the lines with all of these groups? Wouldn't it make more sense that if you are a good soldier, if you are a freedom fighter, wouldn't it make more sense that you just join with the people that's already doing it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it blew me away that he would encourage. He would encourage now Rico, he runs the new Black Panther Party now. They just don't that's my brother. He taking it over. That's my brother. He taking it over. I mean,
oh, do we?
He gonna shut them all down. He gonna shut all of Malik down. sis, can you stop? Listen, let me finish my spill.
He came through pants out too. The hell?
No, he
Child,
didn't.
please. I don't trust
Biko
him just
did
yet
not.
either.
Hey, sis, stop.
I don't trust him just yet either. I don't
Hey,
trust him just
sis.
yet either.
Sis, he didn't come through no. Stop, sis. Please stop. Don't do that, sis.
Yes, he did. He stayed about 3 months.
Man, this seemed like deja vu. We did this interview before. This is all connected. Rico, I need to understand this, Rico. Yo, Rico, ho, Rico, ho. I forgot my whole question. This one messed me up. You hear this one, Crip? All of this stuff is connected. Man. So what I wanted to say is, somebody had mentioned, say it again. And I'm going to tell you the truth. This guy here, that's right, this guy here, John Cook, Najee Muhammad, he is insane. But he's not so much insane as we call like Uncle Pete insane. He is certified. And he's the type that would fart in a tub and turn around and bite the bubble and laugh.
Man, look at him.
He's a sick man that the feds can easily use as an informant and that Malik can easily use as his stoolie and flunky.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. He fought in the tub and turn around and bite the bubble and laugh. I said it here first on Boys World TV. So, sis, now, on your maneuver, what do you think about, like all jokes aside though, what do you think about AJ? I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he has some agent tendencies, maybe some real skittish. He's real nervous moving though. Really nervous.
I think he is an agent. Like you talk about COINTELPRO and stuff like that too much and know too much about it and tell people how to block people so you won't go to Facebook jail. You know too much government stuff.
Yeah, he do. And
just
guess
to be
what?
a truck driver and to be a truck driver in the military, because it's not like you was G.I. Joe. This is not you.
And so this is the funny thing. This is what I haven't said, and I know he's watching today. What people don't know is that AJ, when he started seeing me doing shows on people that was, let's say Crystal Muhammad, for example, because he don't like Crystal Muhammad, he's seen the fallout because Crystal Muhammad couldn't make an account for the money that was taken off my show. And he's seen the fallout. Do you know he jumped up and sent me Crystal Muhammad whole record?
I believe it.
I didn't even know AJ like that. I mean, I know AJ from passing. Let me say that, from passing. He sent me her whole criminal history.
That's what agents do.
but not just her. Quite a few other people too. You know what I'm saying? Not asking, not requesting, nothing. And I thought that was odd. Why are you sending me people background? Because with me, I only look up somebody's background if they attack me.
Right.
Other than that, I don't have no reason to. Or I mean, unless you do something bizarre like Grandmaster Jay telling everybody to get guns, 1 million guns, and you on social media doing that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's hot. You know what I mean? Like no one should do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
No one should even follow that instruction. And so I'll put people on point about that. But normally I don't research people. I don't research people unless they attack me. You attack me, I want to know why. Because I haven't lied. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm giving everybody the ability to come here and prove me wrong.
Right.
Just come and prove me wrong. But once you attack me and you don't take, because I will mute my mic and let anybody come up here and prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't take that approach and you take the approach that you just going to talk all crazy, talk all tough, you're going to do all that. Yeah, I need to find out why. So, sis, you mentioned Mississippi. Why did you go to Mississippi?
I didn't go to Mississippi
Why not?
because I'm not a part of any of that mess or the organization, and I knew it was going to be some mess.
But they was building a pleasure site.
They was getting people beat up and left down there is what they was
No,
doing.
hold up, sis. They was building a pleasure site. That's a new word. Some kind of way.
Man, they
What's that
clowns.
word? Somebody write that word that he just learned. Shabazz keeps saying. He keep dropping that word. I need to look it up. I mean, I ain't go to law school, but they're
I
gonna
pay
build.
it don't
No,
seem like he did either.
Yeah, but they're gonna build this coalition, and everybody must get along. I knew Crip was gonna do that. It's plebiscite. 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 I knew.
That man don't know what that. He don't know what
knew
he's
all
talking about.
people Crip was going to do it. Thank you, Renegade. Plebiscite. Thank y'all for my English lesson tonight. Y'all know I butcher some words. But let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, it's like, man, you be butchering some words. I be like, my tongue is really not fit for the English language. It was forced on me, so I'm working with it. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. But with that being said, so you didn't go to Mississippi. How would you know so much about Mississippi?
Because, like I said, of the tribunal that's going on in September, people still reach out to me by way of the Black Guerrilla Army because they on here. At this time, I don't even care no more. They on here. So,
Are they a real army? That sounds tough. I like that name, Black Guerrilla Army. That sounds.
I mean, their army for, I guess, what they're calling themselves an army. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a name.
But no, are they official? Because I like that. I like that name.
Yeah, they. I mean, yeah.
I like to interview official people if they official.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be willing to come on your show, but
that's my friend.
That's your friend.
I want to be your friend. Peace and love.
That's a stubborn there. He's stubborn. But
go ahead.
So they still reach out to us, and more so him. And like I say, I write down the information, of what's going on. And I talked to the dude a couple of months ago because he's down in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Because I was up in Wilton a couple of months ago, and so I talked to him, chopped it up with him, and that was during the time that I think Malik had came down here for his book signing. And then when they had Juneteenth, that Monday, I got a phone call and said that a dude named Q, I'm not going to release his whole name, Q, had got beat up by General Ghazi. And I was like, General Ghazi? I said, that's the same one I talked to back in February about Brother Charles and the leader of the Black Guerrilla Army, because they were trying to figure out what was going on with them two. So the dude that got beat up, he has recently got shot, what I'm saying, almost 2 months ago. And he got left down there by a so-called comrade or whatever. And then Ghazi ended up leaving them, and then they end up getting back to the hotel room. Drinking and stuff was involved. The conversation was had, and the dude just simply made a comment of, like, it's Europeans and it's Negropeans. And I guess it rubbed Ghazi the wrong way, and that's when these two started tussling and fighting and everything. So when I found out the information, that's when I went live and said what I said, and then I called Malik and I asked Malik, was he aware of what went on in Mississippi? And he was like, it's a lot of things that went on in Mississippi. What are you talking about? I was like, you real cocky. You act like this is my first time ever talking to you.
So you brought it up. So you brought it up to Malik about what happened in Mississippi?
Yes, I called him, and he ended up giving me Desert Eagle's number. I didn't call to ask to speak to Desert Eagle. I called to talk to you because you the messy one. You the mess. He done told me to get the F off his phone. I say, I made you mad. I touched the nerve. I say, every time you talk to me, you're gonna be mad. And I meant that.
Malik said, get the F off his phone.
Yes.
What type of organization can be ran with this type of nonsense? That is so unprofessionally disgusting. It's And
Yep.
people still flock to that?
Yep. Sure do. Because he paying them. Money, property, and prestige, honey.
I be hearing that, I be hearing he be paying people, flying people here, flying people there, hotel here.
Yeah. And for security and all that.
Yeah. Malik gonna get somebody hurt though. I see it.
Right.
He gonna get somebody hurt because he's gonna pay somebody to do something stupid, and it's just not gonna be pretty. Because I'm telling you, the incompetence is through the roof right now. And when people are acting off of ill emotions or stupid motivations, they always slip up.
Right.
And when you slip up with the right one, game over.
There you go.
Ain't no
Everybody not gonna
ain't no
get beat up.
returns.
Right.
Ain't no returns. And I can already tell that he got some real goofy people moving on his behalf, and it just not gonna look good.
Right.
Man, God forbid, because I don't want to see anybody in any mess, me or anybody else. Even if I disagree with you, I want everybody to make it home to their children. You know what I'm saying? To their loved ones, to their mothers, to their, you know what I mean? Like some of us still have mothers around, some of us still have
Right.
sisters around. Like I don't want to see no one get caught up in something that leads them for not making it home. You know what I mean? And I want to make it home. But this don't look good.
At all.
I'm watching Malik right now panic. With all of these little posts, people sending me that he's panicking. He's panicking that he's losing his grip. He's panicking that he's losing his grip, and this 1990s influence from CNN, Fox News, and all those little CNBC and all them little things. It's done.
Most definitely is. It's a new generation. It is a new day. Like we are really at war. I don't like taking pictures and stuff, holding guns and all this other kind of mess. And
Somebody
y'all
said,
holding.
let me say this. Elwin said, I'm referring to you. You're referring to you and Malik's personal issues. I don't have anything personal against Malik. I don't know. Please type in the chat what personal issues that I have with Malik. Malik, to me, is an informant, and he has been one for over 20 years. And he has mastered the game of being an informant, that he's very convincing that he's a freedom fighter. But he has no successes as a true freedom fighter, a true liberator, or one that is actually building something. So I don't have nothing against Malik personally. Nothing against Malik personally. The only thing I have against Malik at this point is that he put out those bogus posts, that he heard that my house was burning, that he heard my jaw was broke. That I mean, I took that. I definitely took that personal now. Yeah, I took that personal. And he's almost lucky. I ain't gonna say he's lucky yet, but he almost lucky, because Silver Spring is a stone throw away. You know what I'm saying? People think he live in Bowie, Maryland. He doesn't live in Bowie, Maryland. I let people say that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't live in Bowie, Maryland. The picture that he show on the internet is not his house. I know what his house look like. I mean, my whole team know what his house look like. So I don't know who he playing with, but you're almost lucky. And let's keep it almost. Stop playing these games. So that's what I took personal. You know what I mean? I have family. Everybody has family. Nobody is untouchable. We need to stop acting like all of us are untouchable, because everybody is touchable real easy. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, oh yeah. That's what I'm saying, Elwin. So at the end of the day, what we really want, let's not get off the point. What we really want is a liberation movement on the ground that we can trust. How can I trust you grabbing my daughter if I had a daughter? How can I help you grabbing my daughter from the hands of a D-boy and trust you not to try to violator.
Right.
If I don't have any daughters, but that's just a hypothetical. How can I trust you grabbing somebody from the hands of a crazy situation and trust that everything is cool? How can I trust you with my son joining a liberation movement to bear arms and that he won't be misled and sent on dummy missions? So
Right.
this is really about addressing the problems and hopefully putting something together that the community can trust, because in fact you are public service people.
Right.
You serve the public. So you mean tell me that after all of those speeches and all of those cameras, they didn't beat up a brother that got shot just months prior?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is the brother okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's upset because he went down there truly thinking it was going to be a coalition and them coming together, and he ended up getting beat up. It was the opposite of what he went down there for.
So you got a guy to get beat up in the name of building a coalition,
Mhm.
and then everybody just party.
And everybody just partying. It's okay and being brushed under the rug. And nobody's saying anything about it. And just like they put a post out, because they put everything out that a guy got left down there with a 5-year-old. And they was putting up his cash out to get him home from Mississippi. But that's what they do. They leave comrades everywhere. It's been comrades left in Atlanta, and I'm talking about on maneuvers that I was on. So it's true.
But you know that is a common thing, because even Big Shirley got left behind. Did you see that show?
I've heard about it. I've heard a lot
I'm gonna
about it.
apologize to her soon. She been quiet
Do
lately.
you have a need to?
I don't know yet. Not yet. You gonna be? I'll make you my co-host. You ain't got no cut. Once a week, talk bed to beat you. Just no cut.
Damn. Let me know.
So, what you think was the worst experience that you had that you can remember with the new Black Panther Party? Is it like they say? Somebody say I'm capping. Is it like they say? They really have these sexcapades and these.
I mean, things
I hear the
happen.
story. Like so it was one time that it was a group of Black Panther sisters out of other organizations where they basically was telling stories of nothing but swapping out, sexing and drinking and I'm
It
saying
happens. It happens. It happens at the Airbnbs, at the tent sites and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens.
how do people get up and face each other and act like they revolutionaries the next day after these indiscretions? That sounds very crazy to me.
They do it and go on to the next, and don't let it be a long weekend maneuver. It happens. It
And
happens.
these people have children at home, and
Yeah, if they don't bring them on the maneuvers with them.
you get out of here.
Yeah, people bring their children on maneuvers.
And so they have somebody to, like you say, Sister Janae would watch the children while y'all go handle the business. This seemed real sloppy. Press 7 if you think this seemed real sloppy. This seemed real. Sister, I am so grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you.
I am so grateful for you, because the picture that you painting here, this looks better than what I thought.
I mean, but
This
it's the
looks
truth.
worse than what I thought. And we just having a casual conversation. But it's just so deep as it relates to, we're looking at an organization predicated upon liberation and supposed to have structure with 10-point plans and all of this stuff, rank and file. And this is nothing but weirdness.
I felt like it was a cult. That's how I felt. it started to consume you after a while.
I think people need to step away and stop legitimizing it, because it's a shame how they talk about the white man this and the white man that. But when this European organized, he organized with a purpose.
Right.
He organized to dominate, he organized to oppress, and he organized to maintain that oppression and domination. This is not even organization. This is not even organization. Have you thought about Elwin? Shout out to Elwin. Have you thought about the solution?
Right now, I feel like this is the solution. You and the real ones that's like us just speaking out,
What,
and
let me
if
say
the
this.
league don't sit down, then we just have to go over them and build over him.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. That's what I'm about to say. Are you prepared? And people like Brother Charles, I know you can't speak for him, but will he be prepared? And it's rhetorical. Will he be prepared to go all out and build that integral organization where people would be proud to wear that patch again?
I believe that he could and would, you know, and I know that us as North Carolina would back him up.
Why don't y'all? I think a policy should be made that any leader. Now I don't know Brother Charles' situation, but this is one of the things that I have in the Moorish Science Temple of America that I like to try to implement. That any main leader, you know what I'm saying, they should have a wife or be obligated or intended to be married, because the family is always the balance.
Right.
It's always the balance. I'm gonna tell you what a brother told me. A Moorish brother named Hopkins Bay, very popular in Moorish circle. He's real calm. He's like the Moorish Obama. Like he's real calm, real articulate, has a pretty decent grasp on the lessons, but he's real calm, smooth talking and all that. And he said to me, he said, Grand Sheik, this is before I started, because I told him I was going to start Moorish World TV and I was going to address bro Charles, I ain't mean to put you out there like that. Bro Charles said GS say I need a wife. I do though. I ain't mean to throw you out there, big bro. But he said to me before I started Moorish World TV, like, even though I'm addressing this and I call people out, I started Moorish World TV like that. You can go back and look at it. I started it like that, but I started off addressing Sinetta. And I started off addressing misinformation amongst Moors. So I've always been addressing misinformation, lies. This just didn't start here. This is just a different facet of our community.
Right.
But what he said to me in a nutshell, he said, Grand Sheik, what you doing? And this was like the first few shows that I did. He said, Grand Sheik, what you doing is going to get popular. He was like, it's really going to catch on. He said, Grand Sheik, get yourself a wife. He said, because that will solve a lot of your problems. Get yourself a wife. And now he, like I say, they more of a quiet type of group of Moors. And his wife, all of them prayed. And this is before I used to go up to his temple in Philadelphia every other week. And they would pray, and you got to get him a wife because he's going to be popular. They're going to be on you. You got to get yourself a wife. And so ultimately, I actually met my wife at an event that he had called a trek. You know what I mean? She looked at me, I looked at her, and it was ball game. And
Wow.
and the only difference is that when I asked could I take her out, she told me no. She told me kick rocks. She did. She told me kick rocks. That's what she told me. But when she told me kick rocks, I got mad and I went and kicked rocks, and we ain't had no conversation. And so maybe a few months later, we was talking about building this Moorish village from a Moorish community perspective. And I asked her again, and she said, no. She said, I'm a Moorish American. I don't date. But she said, I'm a Moorish American. I don't date. I court. So we could court. And I said, what's the difference between date and court? She said, courting is We're together with the intent of being married. Dating, you just doing whatever you want to do. She said, I ain't into that. I'm a Moorish American. So I say that all to, I'm not saying it just to you, but I'm saying it to any significant leader. You need that balance. You really do need that balance. And no matter how frustrated, and my wife might be watching now, she drive me crazy. She drive me crazy, y'all. She do. But it's the balance that we need. And when we look at Malik,
Yep. He's got a whole bunch of women, no wife.
but what that do is it's a security risk also. It's a security risk also, because one of the things that happened during the Cold War with Russia and the United States, they were able to get Russian women to flip American soldiers or even spies. And if you are in liberation for your people, you can't be that loose, because the moment that a sister is ready to rock with you, you be ready to give up information.
There you go.
And so,
You better
so
teach
you
the
got,
people.
so sis, have you heard about the Malik she looked like she could be European. She said she's Tupac's daughter. Is it, have you know her?
Of course,
Oh, that's
I've
just
heard
a
about
YouTube.
that. I've heard about the hotel's room in Tulsa and people watching while women go in and out the hotel room. Yeah, I've heard it all.
But
And I
and
wouldn't
then
put it past it.
but Malik even admitted that he that him and Big Shirley had a thing.
That's what I'm saying. They sitting here telling y'all what
But
they doing.
him and Big Shirley had a thing, and then Babu and Big Shirley had a thing. This is crazy.
That's what goes on. And everybody's skinning, grinning each other's face like everything is okay.
Like I couldn't even talk to my friends. That ain't my code. I can't talk to my friends, woman or somebody that my friend. I can't do that.
But that's what happens. And then the females turn around and say, oh, the men done raped them or done something to them that they ain't had no business doing. When you deliberately spread eagle for these men. So it's some women that need to be set down too.
But Malik and Big Shirley, Crystal Muhammad, look like the number 10. Malik and Crystal Muhammad walking down the street looking like the number 10.
True. Yes. Most definitely.
Hey sis, this is a beautiful conversation right here. Sis, if you say for instance, okay, listen, I gotta let people know this. What would that be?
Just be careful who you call your leaders or look up to. Do the background on these organizations before you just decide to join them. Because I feel like that's what I should have done. I didn't know these people from Tom Adams' Cat and just wanted to do something because it was my passion. And then got in the grip and then started doing the research.
Right.
You know,
I'm laughing
so
at the conversation. They say big girl dealer. Hey sis, I want you to come back, sis. Sis, would you agree to come back and assess? You know what I would like for you to do, and I would love to do this. I'm telling you, this is real talk. So I do these shows, and like I need balance, right? When it comes to these shows. So I do the show on Malik. I do the shows on the indiscretions of these liberation organizations. But I never get like if I put the link out there, I'm hoping that somebody will come and say, you know, this is accurate, and let me add this, and this is why people shouldn't do that, people shouldn't do this. Like for instance, if I say, like you say, you could have did better research, you know what I'm saying? Like last night I did the show about the obligation of an attorney, the oath that an attorney takes, like you make an allegiance to the state of Maryland. You know what I mean? You making allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. But in public, you saying F the flag. I watch him say it on Rico's show, on my brother Rico. Shout out to Rico. That watch him say it on Rico's show that he said, why are you using that name? United States. Why are you using that name? I don't know if you heard that, but he literally said that.
I heard him.
But he has an obligation to that.
I heard
So
him say
either
he
he
have a
lying
state
to
ID.
that or he lying to this. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would love to see people come on and say, well, you know, I never thought of that, or I thought of that, and let me add this to it. You know what I mean? Because some of these shows, when I go back and listen to some, and I don't have time to listen all the time, but when I go back and listen to some of this stuff, I'm like, wow, I said that? Like, that's a serious point. You know what I mean? Like the show about the lawyer thing. That's a serious point.
It really is, because I can't understand how he is a part of the new Black Panther Party anyway and is a lawyer. He's not supposed to be ahead of anything. He's supposed to be a comrade. You working with the government. Like you say, how can you work for the government and against them? Because that's you meaning you working against your people. First of all, as a lawyer, you're not supposed to be sitting on a chair. It's in the manual. The way I take it and understand it. He's supposed to be like a comrade, and if something was to happen, like when I got popped, for him to come and help me. He's not supposed to be leading the people.
Yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do that. After my I got a presentation coming up. And after that one, I'm gonna bring you on and we're gonna assess. I would like to have a panel too. Would you agree to have a panel? I would like to have a panel with the freedom fighters to see how we can have some not I think it's already resolved. The resolve is moving forward. How to move forward. How to move forward. Because I see Brother Charles said too many haters. Man, you always gonna have haters no matter what.
Always.
Yeah,
That's been from the beginning of the time. I told him this 4 years ago that this was gonna happen. And this is where we're at and was gonna be right here. I told him that. I said, you getting too big for them. They hate and they gonna continue to hate, but you keep pressing forward. You keep doing what you need to do for Layla. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep moving forward. The man had the numbers. He had the numbers, and like I said, he didn't go looking for them. They came looking for him. And every position that he had, he earned, and he made national in every organization that he was.
The advice that I would give: use social media, but don't compromise your security to be critiqued too much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same thing I said on my other show. No one can get mad when you keep throwing your camera up and somebody critique you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much work out there that, man, you can highlight or report back and do a because you know the Black Panther Party actually had newspapers and radio. They was into media. There's nothing wrong with media, but this sensationalism for freedom fighting should never be happening.
No.
It should only be informing of that what has been successful or that which is a threat. That's what media it should be when you're talking about freedom fighting. You know, listen, you know, over here they're claiming that if this happened, these Europeans, they're about to start this over here, or the what's the name boys are planning to do this over here. Right. It should be information to awaken the people, and once something is done, if a success happens, you report the success, but you don't tell the European where you're going. You don't tell the European, man. I'm telling you, man, you give a brain dead person a cell phone, you in trouble.
Right. And they put out their information months ahead of time. Like I said on my live, y'all put y'all stuff out months ahead of time, and the people are already down there waiting for y'all, taking pictures, got all y'all stuff built up, and then they going back home to their families, building charges against y'all.
There you go. And so as we begin to wrap up, anything you want to say and close? So we definitely going to do that, and we're gonna talk behind the scenes so we can get a panel up here because we always want to get some solutions. We want to get some solution. I think the solution, y'all already working the solution for real. Y'all really working the solution. But I think the next thing is understanding that social media. And I think y'all doing a good job at that too, because I don't see Brother Charles plastering what y'all doing, even when, like you say, y'all been busy, but even when Brother Charles and Sister Cece was doing, they don't be plastering themselves. You might catch them at taking a picture every now and then, but they don't plaster that. And so I'm saying that's what people have to understand. Social media is ego driven. If you got to show everything you're doing on social media, you just full of ego. You just full of ego. And that's the thing. Now, I do social media a lot, and people would imagine that this is what I do full time. But in fact, I can show you some work outside of this camera that'll blow people's mind. But guess what? I wouldn't put it on the camera because I know what this camera can do, you know what I mean, to certain successes and progress.
That's right.
From haters. So that's what I say, sis. But anything you want to say and close? I mean, the floor is yours. Take it away. Anything.
I'm good. I just
Tell me another
appreciate
good
you.
story.
I appreciate you. I just appreciate you having me on the show. You know what I'm saying? And letting me tell you the story, you know,
but so
my
AJ,
story.
so how many girls or women it was AJ had?
3, including his wife.
But is he a Muslim? You know, a Muslim can have 4.
That don't mean nothing if you can't take care of all of them. And 9 times out of 10, they know about each other. Like,
he can take care of
me.
me.
Talk about polygamy and all this other kind of stuff. Half of these men got all these women because they just want to have sex, and they have sex demons. It ain't got nothing to do with a religion. It's just who they are as a person.
I don't think AJ can't have 4 because he never said that.
He didn't say it to you. I'm telling you what I talked to this man about.
Assalamu alaikum, AJ.
Man, listen, he just out here. He just out here. Now he may have calmed down since it got a little hot around that time. He might have calmed down, but I'm telling you, the affair was admitted on your show and to me, but just the number wasn't admitted to you.
I hope his wife don't watch this show. I don't want no trouble. I don't want to argue with nobody. I'm just a podcaster. That's it.
She knows. That's why she knows, because he accused somebody on your thing of telling it. She knows. That's why he got so much heat out on the particular person that I will forever continue to protect, and that's Brother Charles.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot with AJ.
Why would you say AJ's an agent? I think he's an informant. I think we need to stop using the term agent and use informant, because all they doing is informing, and they misguide and misleading.
Okay.
You know
well, informant. Let's use that word, informant.
You know what I mean? Because an agent, I don't think they could be on the government payroll of being an official agent. They make too many mistakes.
Right. True indeed.
But they can be informants. Now, Malik, he's an agent, I think. He don't make many mistakes. The only mistake that Malik really makes is no progress.
Right. In that book.
Rhetoric, no progress, and no pass.
No pass whatsoever.
Yeah, his whole pass is scrubbed. From Howard University back, nothing. Nothing. So, yeah. That's suspect off top. So no pass, rhetoric, and no successes.
Because that book show is not a success. It's show a flop. Honey, I tell you. Can't get into it.
Now, and when I mean successes, I'm talking about, like, when you look at the Black Panther Party.
None of it.
They had clinics. They had a consistent paper. He came out with a paper to announce that he was the new chairman in Tulsa. Where the rest of them?
They don't have anything. For him to be a lawyer and paying all these people, they don't have no land. They don't have no banks. They don't have no schools. They don't even have a headquarters.
For him to be a lawyer, and paying all these people, we ain't never seen him in court. Tell me where he went to court at.
I've never seen him in court.
We're going to be defending this guy. We ain't never seen him in court. Never.
I thought he was an accident lawyer, so maybe he just settles out of. I don't know.
I challenge anybody this. Now I could be wrong. Now he put up that what he gonna make me do. What he gonna make me do is scrutinize what he put on his page yesterday, because I was talking about being a lawyer. He put on his page yesterday that he helped win a case against Giuliani. In fact, I have the transcript about the youth march, the Million Youth March.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting at the table with Dr. Collins and the other lawyer and himself. I actually have the transcript. You didn't file nothing. You was not an intricate player in that.
You was just sitting there.
You were sitting there, and I can prove it. And this is the thing, though. Sister Demetria. The actual whole story in the case file, I actually have it. He didn't write anything. He didn't do any. If he was on the advisory, you'll never be able to prove it. But that other lawyer, I forget his name, was given full credit. His name was invoked, but that lawyer was given full credit. I forget his name, the one that's in the picture. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was given full credit. I mean, so I don't know why he would front and try to project that. And in fact, that was in 1998. Let's say you did have that success. What have you since that success?
I have never heard anything about any of his court cases. I've never heard anything about anything. No accident.
Just one courtroom. Like, okay, you go through his Facebook page. Go through his Twitter or whatever social media he have. I will guarantee you will not see one picture where he's approaching the bench. You will not see one picture where he's in the courtroom, coming out the courtroom, and just finish a trial.
So I'm just trying to figure out what does he do then, and how he getting paid, and how is he paying the people?
Follow the money. Follow the money. And we're going to figure it out. Because again, out of all the pictures that people like him post on social media, there is not one adjudicating. In all of these years, think about it, people. All of these years, over 20 years, there is not one picture of him adjudicating. That's bad.
Not since I've been around.
That's bad. Now, there might be one that exists, but I'm saying I'm a super troll when you troll me. I've trolled. I haven't seen one. I've trolled from when he started his Facebook page. I haven't seen one. And if that ain't a red flag, I don't know what is. Somebody say, didn't he defend Polite? There we go. He stood out in front of the police department with a cell phone camera and said he was suing the police department, and they never sued the police department. It's the same thing. It's either the bullhorn or some microphones in front of a courthouse, in front of a police station, or in front of some place where a crime took place.
That's right.
That's right.
Always. That's all it is.
I'm looking too. Are you going to show some shows on this idea, GS? On which idea? Absolutely. If y'all want to see it, I'll show it. I'll break down the case of what happened in 1998. Anybody want to see that? I will break down the case what happened in 1998. I will break it down. And I will show without contradiction.
I'm just trying to figure out how much people need to see that this man is a fraud. Like, what else do they need to see? besides what's in front of them.
I got you. You know what though, sis? One thing that I do is I like to continue to do these shows. So whenever you go on Mortuary TV, there will be, and when I get a time, I'm going to have channels. Malik lose the bass, do Black Panther Party, but I want the real soldiers to know that this is not for you. For all the real people that boots on the ground, even if you still got hope that Malik will turn around and your heart is in the right place, I rock with you. Maybe you don't see yet. Some of us don't see all at the same time. It's something that I said on my brother Rebel show today before this show. That's why I was late. Shout out to my brother Rebel and all my brothers over there on the Black Power move. They getting it right. But I said on my brother Rebel show, I said, brother, I said it's just amazing to me that our people do not even, from a lower vibration, like you can't just walk in and get in the dice game. If somebody's shooting dice and you just pull up, like, man, let me get the fade. Everybody turn around, man, who you? Who you know? They get you out the dice game. Another brother came in. He was like, yeah, he said something to the effect. He didn't even hear what I said. He said something to the effect like, you can't even come into the basketball game without knowing nobody in the hood. How is it that people can just show up with no track record and be looked at as a leader?
Right.
And Malik has built a track record from a scrub pass, being a promoter for Dr. Khalid Muhammad at Howard University in Farrakhan, to now thinking he qualified
to lead all the movements under all the new Black Panther parties. Every last thousands of them that's under the new Black Panther Party name, because there's a million of them.
And I didn't
know
know that
over all of them.
And I didn't know that either. And he and look, and he pushes the idea that it's okay. Why would it be okay? You know, because everybody got a different ideology. Everybody got a different message under the same patch. It's just, man, I hope people like Amun. I hope people like Amun snap out of it, because I think he would be a great general. I hope Babu wouldn't be so emotional and come forth, because he would be also a great general. I wish Steve Biko. That's right. Steve Biko. Steve Biko need to be general. That's right. And my brother Charles.
The only one I can say I'm rooting for is Charles.
What about Biko? I'm not playing. I'm not being facetious.
No, he got a good talk game. Your talk, just because you talk good don't mean nothing to me. Your actions don't line up with your talk. And like I said,
oh, I like Johnny Do Right. What about Delta? You ever see Delta? Brother out of Florida, like that there. I'm going with Johnny Do Right. I'm gonna be under Delta, General Delta. That's right. Everybody that fell in the background. So sis, so listen, we're gonna put this together, and I think my next show on this topic is I'm gonna talk about the failed cases that I can find of Malik Zulu Shabazz. I'm gonna stay on this, and next week we're gonna do a panel show. You know what I mean? We're gonna get Brother Charles to come out. Brother Charles be tripping though. I don't know, Grand Sheik. I'm working, Grand Sheik. Give me a minute. Now you coming out. Listen, in order to influence the people, we need a social media presence, but we just don't need to compromise our security and things that we're doing. Take us out, sis. Anything in closing?
Nothing in closing. I just appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do. You real, one of the realest, and I love real people. I don't do fake stuff, you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. You gotta come back when the attacks come. Because if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
That's it.
So when the attacks come, on our panel show, we'll be talking about that next week. All right?
Okay.
Who else? Okay. Look. Johnny Do Right said, bring this beautiful woman back.
Ashay, thank you. Thank you.
So thank you, sis. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate you, sis.
I appreciate you more.
Yes, indeed. So, fam, that's the mark for the record book right there. I think, sis, that was a nice laid back interview. I know people are going to be mad, but in all actuality, I tell you all the time that if you disagree, you are welcome to come in and we can have a panel talk. Listen, we can disagree and don't turn into killers. We can disagree and don't turn into the savage that we say we fight against. We can disagree. It's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to disrespect, to be mean and make threats. That's not okay, because someday somebody going to take those threats serious. And when somebody takes those threats serious, and nobody is untouchable, the poop gonna hit the fan. So stop that. Stop acting like you're tough. We know that you're tough. We know that you are a secret ops. We know that you can shoot a penny off of a bottle top from 3,000 yards. We're convinced. We agree. You are the best sharpshooter, urban shooter known to man. We understand, we know, but you ain't shooting that European from 300 yards away or 10,000 yards away. And so nobody is impressed. Nobody impressed with your stiff looking face, talking all tough, talking all emotionalist. You know what I mean? That emotionalist talk. Yeah. I know. Like nobody is convinced. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like we are born in this world. In the moment that we're born, we're walking towards the grave. But along that walk, we're trying to liberate ourselves from an oppression that has really messed us up heavy. You know, and you even got some Europeans that are in the same box. They are in the same box. They're in the same box. So they get it. They get it, you know. But you need to get it. You need to get it. Sometimes people go live just to agitate Europeans. Sometimes people just go live to try to see who can say the most humiliating things to Europeans. But that ain't never free of people. You know what I mean? Europeans who demonstrate oppression, that's what they do. But now what you gonna do? Cuss them out? Call them pigs all day? Call them devils all day? That what you gonna do? That's the end game? No, that's goofy in 2022. What you need to be doing is figure out how you're gonna take that money and put a little school so people can be self-taught by their parents. People talk about Umar Johnson. That was a grand idea. So bad. Sorry that it got off track, but that was a grand idea. So with that being said, family, I appreciate love you. I hope you love me back. Free Biko. Free Biko. The new commander of the new Black Panther Party. The new Black Panther Party. Peace and love. Happy holy day for all Muslims all over the world. It's 12:35 on the East Coast.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. Family, see y'all tonight, 9:30. Let's go.